Okay, so today, you can see we're just going to do a little recap video of where we've gotten so far. We'll have some videos coming out on how we got to this point. But so far, we have the cab mounted. We went in here. Buddy Scott cut out some plates on the CNC machine. Like you saw in the previous video of the body mounts, you can see they worked out exactly like you would hope, but the floor is not crushed. Didn't have to use any Ghetto 25 stamped washers or anything. They worked out really well there. They worked out well right here in the back of the truck. And right here was where we had the most crushing going on. Everything's torqued down to 60 foot-pound. No torquing, no smashing really of the original sheet metal there or here in the back. It's all good to go. You can see right here, we have the transmission tunnel. We had to cut it out. Then we ended up moving the motor a little bit forward, so we had to put a lot back in. Everything clears the transfer case and the transmission. We could have cheated and used like a body lift or something, or mounted the mounts a little higher. Downfall is then you would have seen the frame hanging out from under the truck, and then it would just look like we just cobbled something together and threw the cab on top of the frame. And we didn't want to look it belonged on here. So we went through the hassle of having to make a tunnel. We got to fill in a couple more spots, but everything looks factory. We're going to have the shifter's in a good location right there. The four-wheel drive shifter will come to the floor right here, just like it does on the Fords. Everything will work good. We ended up doing the 271 like you probably saw in the previous videos. I'm really excited about what we're going to do with the cab. Once we get everything welded up, we're going to use some 100 mil Kilmat is the brand. It's a little bit cheaper than Dynamat. On the headliner, on the back of the cab. We're not going to do where the seats sit because we have the factory stuff. And of course, later on down the road, we're looking at putting the high country seats in. But up the firewall, the floor pan where your feet go, anywhere that is going to stay original, we're going to go ahead and put the Kilmat to kind of cut down any noise and vibrations. We're going to put a piece behind each one of the doors on the inside to kind of cut down any vibrations. We want it to be as quiet as possible. Something we ran into when we started putting everything together was right here. This body line was all jagged up. The top of the cab was like here, and the bed was where it's at now, and I thought we were going to have to shim it. Luckily, before I went into the hassle of shimming it, I was like, well, we should just tighten down the body mounts because they're going to squish down a lot. And I don't know if you can see, but right in here, right in here you can see how much it's smashed down. This used to be almost 1.5 inches, 2 inches tall, and it's smashed down just like it's supposed to. You got our body line right like we had it when we mocked everything up. So if you kind of want like a parts list, let me know. I can get it for you. Those are SB filter, F-350 and 250 mounts. We use the F-250 or 350 body mounts. We just cut them off, welded them back in. You can go back to the either third or fourth video and you can see how we did all that and see how we did the cab. Not the cab, the bed mounts and everything. We got plenty of clearance. These are just stock F-350 tires. I think they are 245s somewhere. They're 245, 75, 17s. We're going to try to go to like a 33, and I think the metric thing comes out to like 33, 11.2 by 17. Of course, we did the F-350 wheels. They're just the slotted aluminum wheels that would have come with from the factory. Really happy with how they turned out. You'll see it in just a second. We'll put the front clip on and you can see what it looks like. But front sway bar went in. I got the dually axle. It's got a rear sway bar as well. We've got the gooseneck kitchen there. If you know anything about the 450 springs going into F-350s and making them level, let me know because I'm really interested in doing that. If that's the case, I haven't found any actual hard facts on it. So if you know anything about it, let us know. I'd love to know about that. Right here, we're going to go in and make the oil return at an AN line instead of using the hard line the way we have everything set up. It wouldn't work like we need to, so we're going to AN line that. We'll go ahead and make our coolant bypass pieces. You can see we got to put the firewall back in place. We got our steering hooked up. That was a little bit of a task. What I did is I got the F-350 bushing down here. They charge like $350 for the whole shaft. I called the local junkyard and Wash Auto Parts. and told them I just need a bit one anything because I just need the end piece. So I paid $20 for the bit one, and I got about $10 in 3/8 bolts. What I did is I slotted the Chevrolet steering arm to fit the Ford collar that hooks up to their steering shaft, to their steering box, and then it hooks up to the Chevrolet steering shaft just like it's supposed to from the factory. All in all, it probably took me about an hour to do. Definitely worth it versus spending $300-400 on a custom steering shaft. Later on down the road, if this wears out or we decide it's got too much angle to it, I'll go ahead and spend the money and get a real shaft. But if you're in a pinch or you're just trying to get something done to drive around for a little bit like I am for my kids' board, that's what we went with. We cut 2 inches out of the 2 shafts, melted little plastic, I guess you call them shear pins out of there, and got everything put together like we wanted to. So that's looking good. If you come back here and see, we've got the BMW hitch in the bed. We're going to have to cut out a plate because whoever cut the factory one cut it way behind the wheel wells. So we'll put that in there. Of course, we have the turnover ball. We're going to eventually rhino line this all black so it'll be nice and durable, and then you won't even see the weld marks where we welded in the patch panel and cut out the little hole. So that's where we're at right now. If there's anything you want to know, want to see, let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Probably what we'll do on the bumper, it's probably going to try to get one of the new body style Chevrolet bumpers with the little steps right here, but we'll get there when we get there. Right now, we're just trying to get it running and driving. So anything you want to see, little tips, tricks, just let us know in the comments. So I'll be sure to try to feature them. Thanks for watching.